Keselowski's around.
Exiting turn 1.
Right side.
That's not what he needs.
Right side. Side, big opening right here. Clear, clear.
The Sprint Cup champ fighting for a place in the chase, running 7th going into turn 1. Now back in 22nd.
You have to think this might be a wheel hop situation, just getting down in a little too far, couldn't get the RPM. He's trying to make a pass. And so that's when you get the wheel hop. You have to get on the brakes. You can see right there. There's too much speed.
And trouble for Jeff Gordon. In the wall. Caution is out.
That's a lot of damage.
We're going to have a wrecker, guys.
That's that spot that we were talking about earlier. Where he's at up here is it's coming back up to the back straightaway. Have to see what happened with Jeff.
Really high speed part of the racetrack. You're wide open in the gas coming off of those S's. Not a place we see a lot of cars crash.
No, definitely not. But it has changed because a number of drivers brought that up.
And Jeff's been struggling with the handling of this car really since he got here. Made that early pit stop. See Jeff Gordon's back here, and he's going to come through the S's, and looks like he's trying maybe to set himself up for a pass. Just runs out of room. Looks like he's behind Denny Hamlin.
There's just very few times, Alan, like you talked about, that's a hard hit right there because you've just shifted into high gear, carrying a lot of speed. But a lot of these drivers talked about that very area that used to not be a problem spot that could be this weekend.
Almost like he lost the front end.
Yeah,
Correct.
That car.
Alan's not too happy. This is not what they needed at all.
No. No, absolutely not. So, Jeff Gordon, 9th in the championship coming in. We talked about before the start of the race, giving up a lot of points, and 30-some cars finish on the lead lap. But now Jeff Gordon has a wrecked race car. And we're only 14 laps out of 90 into this race.
I'm sure this team was looking to hopefully help their chase chances, and here they are with really putting them in serious trouble.
Remember Brad Keselowski we just saw in the pit studio update, had the spin earlier. His team worked some strategy to get him back some track position. Brad running in 8th.
Yeah, he's got some older tires than what these others do, but still got him in a good spot once again to kind of get back on cycle with the rest of them and be able to race them from here with pretty much the same type strategies.
Trouble. Ron Fellows 33, Travis Kvapil 93. Caution is out.
We're wrecked.
You might need a wrecker.
You're wrecked and you're hung up on the curb too.
A lot of damage there to Ron Fellows' car.
They were racing for 26th place. Remember, Fellows hit it under this caution.
Yeah, this is up in a difficult part of the racetrack here.
Oh, more involved. Tommy Dreese 87, Victor Gonzalez 36. That looks like in the stack up from it.
They hit us from behind.
So Kvapil's not going to be able to go anywhere.
Well, big mess there. Ooh,
Yeah, that's
don't drive out around.
Going anywhere before he messes up the rest of the racetrack.
Yeah, he just
I don't think it'll go far anyway.
Yeah. Both of them. Don't drive that one around, please. Please. Well, here we go.
Yeah, there you can see the oil stream just coming out. That's a big mess.
Yeah, stop. We got it.
NASCAR race control hollering to the spotter of the 36, and the spotter hollering to the driver you heard, and thankfully, message delivered.
Yeah, it could have been a lot bigger mess than he
Goodness.
made. Still a big mess.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad spot to be having oil and oil dry down there. They'll get it cleaned up as best they can.
Landon Castle's gotten a piece of something, or something's gotten a piece of him.
Yes.
You see they're coming up through the S's side by side. It's like fellas just got right in the quarter panel.
Yeah, it looked like he had that, and he was kind of expecting maybe that, well, knew that he was there. Tough place to race side by side. We pointed this out yesterday, and don't know how much we talked about today, but there's not much room up through here.
Denny Hamlin picked up a piece of somebody's bumper bar on the nose of his car on the way through.
Yeah, he was right behind these two.
And then things will start stacking up from back there because there's just nowhere to go.
Stay low, back up, stay left, go, watch your back. Stay left there in between. All clear, go. Good job.
That's a nice job by her. As I said, there's not many places you can go, and you don't know where these cars are going to bounce back off of that guardrail.
Something's just happened to A.J. Allmendinger's 47 car. He's slow and losing positions. Follow up on that in a minute. There's the 47.
Yeah, that's too bad. Hope we didn't jinx him.
He was third. You see all the cars that are going by. Oh, boy. Second place, Kyle Busch on the pit lane. And Eric Almirola into the tires. Could be a big turning point in the race because the caution's going to have to come out here, and does.
It's out now.
All right, so what happened to Eric Almirola? This is from Jeff Gordon.
Oh, man, looked like something happened to that car.
Like a left front tire.
Yeah. Windshield deep into those tires. It took a left, didn't it?
He was running in 20th at the time, and yeah, something let go there. That was very odd.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of those tracks you see a ton of brake heat, and that could have been a charcoal bead or something like that.
Yeah.
It's getting towards the end of a run on tires.
How ironic would it be that what could possibly keep Ambrose out is the teammate's car having a problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this was not a good break for Marcus Ambrose.
Caution out with 12 laps to go. Show you why in a minute. First, an update on next weekend's motorsports schedule. The Nationwide Children's Hospital 200. First ever visit by the Nationwide Series to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car course. That's next Saturday at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Drag racing next weekend. The Lucas Oil NHRA Nationals in Brainerd. The qualifying runs you can see Saturday at 11 Eastern on ESPN2. Then next Sunday, the Pure Michigan 400 for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at noon Eastern on ESPN, and the Lucas Oil NHRA Nationals Finals at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. That's all next weekend. So what happened? Travis Kvapil had just come back out of the garage after being involved in that big crash up in the S's earlier that put us under the red flag and had the big cleanup.
Got the guardrail. Got it a couple times, actually pretty good. See the right front, or left front, I'm sorry, does a lot of damage. You can see it right here. This is after the impact. There goes the tire casing.
Which then rolls around the inner loop and gets collected by Alex Kennedy in the 19 car. So 31 cars on the lead lap. Make it 32. Boris said the free pass on this caution. 10 laps to go in this race. And the double wide charge down to turn one when it's time to get aggressive.
At least double wide.
Green flag.
Kurt Busch sliding it into the corner. Gathered it back up. will get ugly. Casey Kane around. Junior hits him. And more spinning and crashing behind.
I saw Casey sideways. That was a terrible place to be that way.
Yeah, there's just no room. We've talked about that earlier. No room up through there. And actually, the contact from Dale Jr. probably made this less of a wreck than what was going to happen.
I was in the gas. He's in the gas. I don't know what I could have done. I didn't want to lift you up.
Well, a lot of troubles there for Junior, for last week's winner, Casey Kane. Talked about the all take and less give.
Yeah.
These drivers all racing for around the 13th position, charging up the hill at a very narrow and high-speed part of the track.
Yeah, I mean, the sense of urgency has really come up. See, I think Marcus Ambrose is actually back in that same group. We're all racing hard.
And even though there's asphalt there, the racing groove, you get outside of that lane and a half that's there, it is so slick that you have a hard time keeping control of your car.
Side by side as they started up in the S's, you see right here. This is where the pressure point was.
Oh, Ambrose got hit. Matt Kenseth, I think, nudged Ambrose and or Kane, maybe both of them.
I'm not sure that Dale Jr. actually didn't get into the back of them. I think it was stacked up further back.
And then the track is blocked there. You see how close those guardrails are to the side of the pavement. And then the jam up. Let's see this.
You can see Kenseth come across there for sure and get into Casey Kane.
I think I'm with Andy there. I think Kenseth got hit from behind too.
Well, you can see just how narrow that racetrack is.
Yeah.
No runoff at all.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Stay right there.
It's hard to tell from that angle who hit who first.
Yeah, I can't tell if Junior got into the back of the doing, but you could see Kenseth's car wiggle and then him have to correct. And in correcting, that's going over to the right, which got him into the left rear of Casey Kane.
Well, that could have been a lot worse. Glad to see Casey walking away. We have seen in that part of the racetrack over the years some really nasty crashes. And fortunately, that one didn't turn out to be as bad as it could have been. Marcus Ambrose, story of the day, started on pole, led 51 laps, was still on the racetrack needing a pit stop when the caution came out at lap 59 just after Kyle Busch had pitted under green. Kyle stayed out under the yellow, Marcus pitted, Kyle's the leader, Marcus restarted back in 14th and has made no progress since. So here we go with what will be 6 laps remaining in the race. Brad Keselowski to Kyle Busch's outside. Martin Truex Jr., Carl Edwards in the row behind him. And watch Pablo Montoya from 6th position, who's been on a charge since he was caught on the pit lane, just like Ambrose was earlier. Montoya in that red 42. Ambrose turned in the S's, same spot on the track. Caution's out. More cars involved.
Now, I was just about to say, watching him try to go up through there, he was really struggling with this race car. Looked like he might have got a little help while he was struggling.
He restarted 10th. And now he's crashed.
his car hasn't been good on any of these restarts, and it's kind of stacked things up. He's been right around where everything was that was going on in each of these restarts.
He's getting down to that point of the race. He's trying to make something happen.
But he's one that's always been so good on these restarts that we expect him to be up there passing, and he's actually the one that's kind of been holding things up a little bit.
And we talked about at the top of the day the pressure and the drivers feeling like the road course is their best chance to win.
Yeah.
Ambrose in command for so much of the day, and you can sure see the frustration written all over his face.
Absolutely.
And his actions there.
Yeah.
Well, he was involved in the contact in the last one going up the hill after the restart to the S's. This time he got the worst of it.
Trying to make something happen on the outside, and they're all stacked up. He gets a little help, like you said, Dale, from it's like Max Pappas, but they're all jammed up. Looked like the 29 was in the back of him.
Well, we talked about that groove being so narrow. There's just like a lane and a half. You get outside of that with the two tires, there's just no grip there. And you start pedaling the throttle as others are trying to go behind you, you find yourself in trouble.
14 car Max Pappas.
He did. He slipped out of that groove, too. Then that's when he got the help.
And Pappas sitting there with Kevin Harvick right on his bumper. He's got to go, and it's time to do that.
Ryan Vickers with a pretty heavy contact with the guardrail also.
Still there. Inside line of them. Hold your line.
Max Pappas.
Great job, Max. Keep going, keep going. Good job.
I can see why he's frustrated. I mean, where this race went bad for the 9 team is when they didn't make that green flag stop, when a lot of guys were doing that around lap 59 and 60. They were waiting to make theirs, and then the caution came out and put them in a really bad position. Put them back in, what, 15th place, 14th place on the restart.
Yep.
He was just trying to make up all these spots, and it just wasn't going to happen for him.
Now, just before the restart, we caught this on Ambrose's radio.
I'm in trouble. What do you want me to do, mate? I need to know what up. Is it like a flat tire? Is it your steering wheel bent? What is it? I tell you, the rod spins out. I think the rear end's moving. Is it a shock fault or a track bar man or something like that?
You know, that could be something else they were dealing with. We talked about how hard this track is on suspension parts, and the way those track bar mounts usually break, they start cracking and start moving, and he could have had that going on. And could explain why he was not as good as he was at the first part of the race.
Well, he did not start on pole position the last 2 years when he won. Today he started on pole, dominated, but has walked away in bitter frustration today at Watkins Glen.